Hello everybody, welcome to the show. I have been out for a couple weeks, it feels great to be back. I'm back now, I'm here, the show must go on. For those of you that are new to the show, this is where I like to expose some of the worst tattoo artists that are out there, and hopefully I'll be able to help you guys spot some of the hacks on your own, and also learn how to avoid them. This week, I follow a tip that I received in an email from a viewer about a particular hack that was out in Eugene, Oregon. And once I checked out the studio, well, I found a lot more than just one bad artist. I found quite a few, to be honest. A cornucopia of hacks, if you will. So, sit back, relax, let's find some hacks. Alright guys, this is the guy we're going to be chatting about today. His name is Greg Byerly, and he is the owner of Crybaby Inc. You can find them exclusively on Facebook at Crybaby Inc. They don't have a website. Now, originally when I was checking them out, there was a lot of bad reviews. Please go check out their reviews, you guys. Oh my goodness, it blows my mind how studios like this stay afloat with so much scathing reviews, and some of these are horrible. People talking about it's the worst tattoo experience of their life, and just how they're getting overcharged for quick work, and there's even quite a few complaints about his daughter. Apparently he trained his daughter in on how to tattoo. She became a tattoo artist, and her stuff actually looks quite a bit better nowadays than it must have back then, because a lot of these reviews are from a couple years back. But and originally, when I heard about this studio from my client, it was to talk about this guy, Ben Morrow, and he works there, and yeah, I checked out his Facebook. Not the best work in the world. Really choppy, quick, kind of simple stuff, not very artistic in nature, just kind of disappointing stuff. But ultimately, the buck stops with you if you're the owner, and you can check out Greg on Instagram. He's the one we're going to talk about today, Yakuza Greg on Instagram. Now, I'll give him a little bit of redemption right off the bat. He does some amazing photography work. He also has that on Instagram. His studio kind of doubles as his photography studio also. So, For Digital Dreams, they got some amazing stuff. I love the family photos he's got, really unique artistic stuff. So, I know a part of him definitely has the artistic nature, but when it comes to tattoos, good God, it's not so good, you guys. This is a lot. Oh boy, this is a lot to take. This is a lot to unpack. Now, you guys know I'm a fan of the Star Wars stuff, right? I just don't know if I'm a fan of the Star Wars stuff with big, giant, fake, round titties. Oh man. Also, where is her bicep? Just this floating forearm here. There's no bicep. You're telling me her bicep is skinnier than her wrist? Come on, what's going on there? Now, obviously, Greg is not great with small detail. This also shows he's not that great with color blending. But one major mistake, and this is something that I've kind of been waiting to find a great example to show you guys, because it's a major red flag. When you're looking for a tattoo artist online, you gotta zoom in real far, because you'll see errors like this. You see how that red does not go up to the line? This is a really big tell for me. On this side also, you see all these little white specks because he could not get his red all the way up to the line. Now you might think that that's just a fluke, whatever, but then you see it all the way around. There's errors where he couldn't, in some places he could, some places he couldn't. Then you look at her bikini here, this white edging right here, because he couldn't get the black all the way up to the top of the bikini line. Now, what's happening there is that when he goes to fill in that red coloring around the outside, he touches down and the ink smears out, it blurs out. It makes it so as artists, we can't see our needle tips anymore. Now, over years of experience, you do it a lot, you're trained in it, you learn to do it by feel. Because you no longer can see your needle tips, you need to do it by feel, and you need to just learn and perfect knowing where they're at. And this is something that when I see an artist that's been doing it 10 years, and he cannot figure out where his needle tips are, that's a big, big, big red flag. Let's move on. Oh man, more Star Wars stuff that just brutalized. Oh god, that is just a sexy Leia face, isn't it? Look at that. Just look at this weird clumpy hairpiece she's got here. just gnarly, you guys. Oh my god. Now, the main mistake here. Now, this whole thing is garbage, okay? This is just botched, rough stuff. But the main mistake he made is putting it where he put it. This is right on somebody's crease of their elbow. You can see it right there. It runs right through her neckline. That's a really, really bad idea for a lot of reasons. Because even if you're a really good artist, even if you are applying it perfectly, you're not scarring the client, you know how to saturate well, doesn't matter. Any good artist is going to try to avoid putting heavily detailed line work right there on the crease, because as this heals, his arm's going to be moving, stretching, up, down, left, right, and every time it does, it's going to crack this healing tattoo right here. So all these black lines, they're definitely going to blur, possibly scar, but 100% they're not going to hold that ink well. Last Star Wars one I'm going to show you guys, and man, just disappointing. You guys know I'm a nerd for this stuff. I love doing Star Wars tattoos. I love all kind of nerdy tattoos. I just hate to see it when they get so botched like this. My god, main mistake he made here was outlining the black paint. I get why he did it. He was trying to make his job a little easier, but those hard black lines are not natural. If you look at a picture of Darth Maul, that black skin or black paint is just real smooth. You're not going to see those black lines like that. But Also, another thing I harp about all the time, some of you probably already noticed it, this armpit hair. Why would you not take the extra time to shave that clean, prep the skin properly? That's another big red flag. If you're looking for a tattoo artist, you see these brand new fresh tattoos that were just done, and you can see all the little hairs in there. That lets you know they aren't even taking enough time to prep the skin properly. So where else are they going to be cutting corners? But all of the time that I saw him try to do faces, it looks like they'd get him nervous because he would overly simplify them. And he did it with Marilyn Monroe here. Look at that hair. You can't see a single strand of hair. You just see clumps of gray. And very strange that he just put white dots right here. Not sure what that is. You zoom out, that's a total afterthought. I'm not sure what he was going for there. He did a few streaks of white in there, just some lazy afterthought. Again, it doesn't feel artistic to me. It doesn't feel like he was an artist first and then he got into tattooing. It feels like he just is one of these artists who got into tattooing because they thought it would be a quick, simple, easy job. And these are usually the guys that I find and turn out to be hacks. So definitely glad we found him. Definitely glad I can warn you guys about him. Here's the last face I'm going to show you. Again, really just clumpy shading. No definitive light source on this thing. You can't tell where the sun was in any of these. But this is supposed to be Zeus with some fierce lightning bolts shooting out his eyes. But it just looks like he has some sort of weird skin condition. It's just weird strings or something popping out of his eyes and his nose. He looks like kind of confused. Like, guys, what's popping out of my eyes here? I don't know what's going on. It's so strange. Here's another one where he just did it way too small. I know for the longest time, and even still, I get a lot of requests for Heath Ledger Jokers, and it's just so disappointing to see somebody take it, and something that should have taken up half of this kid's forearm. He shrunk it down to smaller than the palm of your hand even, and just overly simplified the detail. Again, it just shows a lack of confidence when he's doing this stuff. He'd rather shrink it down and do simple detail than blow it up and just make some amazing detail that would impress. But I think it's because Greg's just was never trained in this stuff, so he's more nervous about it rather than wanting to impress with it. He just wants to get it done. And here's really funny looking. You guys can pick it out, right? I get what he was going for. It's supposed to be this sort of morph, lamb's face in a lion's face. I get it. Strange ears. Why is one ear way up here and then one is over here, like pointing that direction? I think he must have lost his stencil halfway through, and he didn't. And then he realized, like, oh shit, I forgot an ear, and he just put it in here as an afterthought. But man, you know that's not even the worst part of it, though. I absolutely hate when I see people simplify whiskers like this. Because first off, a lion has white whiskers. So that's difficult for us tattoo artists to leave a negative space here to later put our white in. But the easier way to do it is to just put some squiggly black lines in there afterwards. And then he just does some white lines too. So it's like he knew they were supposed to be white, but he just kind of took the quick route. I'm also not a fan of this one rogue. Just shooting right up there. What is that? None of the other ones are flown in that direction. Why does one just shoot up that way? Very strange. Also another strange thing, another placement error if you ask me on his part, because this face, the nipple is way too close to the mouth. That's a strange placement. He should have angled this thing, or he should have picked a more dynamic pose, not such a straight-on view, but either way, you should have avoided the nipple like that. Another lion, this one apparently burst into flames, but has the same whiskers. Oh, look at that, a rogue one. I wonder if it's the same stencil he used, just twice. They both have that same rogue whisker, and he put the whites in the white of the eyes again, just like he did on that Marilyn Monroe. And I'm telling you, you do not want white in the whites of the eyes of any picture, because that white is going to be an off-yellow kind of tan color 2 weeks from now, and they're all going to look like they have some sort of jaundice or some sort of disease. So never go with an artist that's going to put white in the whites of the eyes. That's a real amateur mistake. Again, oh man, does that look like Zoolander to anybody else? This wolf looks like he's busting a fucking blue steel on us right there. That is just, look at those pursed lips. Oh, strange. Again with the just scraggly whiskers. Very disappointing. You can tell this is not his forte. Not sure what's going on with this moon here. Why would it just stop halfway there? Just weird artistic choices. That's usually going to let you know they are not an artist at heart. But definitely qualified to do something like this. Who doesn't want a fisherman fucking their catfish with weird legs and a set of high heels on? Oh man, this is just... it's hard to look at. I want to zoom in here, get away from this. But again, with these fill-in errors, just so you know, it was not a fluke. I saw this throughout his whole portfolio. He has trouble getting up near the lines. For an artist that has been doing this, 10 plus years, this is shocking to me that I would see such simple mistakes. With the fill-in also, this is supposed to be solid black. You can clearly see the patches, the streaks where he was filling in his pattern, and he just kept going, and it created this streaking, and it also created this patching of white. So very disappointing stuff. The sleeve work all looks the same. It's all done with really bold, heavy lines, very overly simplified bold, heavy lines, and all of the shading has this sort of scratchy fill effect to it. So just no real detail. It takes the quick route, the simplest, kind of boldest outlines he can do. All looks beat up. This is going to be one of the last ones I show you, because how disappointing is it that Vincent took the time to put his name on his set of titties And then Greg comes in and just butchers it with this gnarly looking tattoo. I'm not saying that titties would look any better with a better tattoo, but you know what I'm saying. He didn't do it any favors. But yeah, same thing here. No real light source, just dark, heavy, blotchy shading. All the leaves are very inconsistent. Look at this one, has really intentional vein lines down it, and then this one he used the shader for the vein lines. Just really strange, and if you ask me, it's all just done really, really quick rush stuff, and I could see that. Greg, I looked through the reviews, and they all of those reviews are just echoing the same stuff that I am. Quick done work, way overcharging apparently. I can't comment on that, but there were so many people in the reviews that were saying that it was done very quickly and overcharged, and all of your work looks very, very quickly done. It looks like you're just trying to get as many people in as you can, and you're not carrying the quality, or you're choosing quantity over quality there. I didn't see any good color fill-in, I didn't see any good line work, I didn't see any good smooth blending or gradation. So all in all, I gotta wonder why you're still tattooing. Stick to the photography, man. I can't recommend people go to you. Anyway, guys, put it down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of his artwork. Let me know if you thought that was a pretty banger catfish getting fucked. Otherwise, stick around. Everyone in Oregon, I got an artist that's going to blow your mind. Not too far away, so let me show you. Hey guys, before I show this next artist, I want to remind everybody that you can definitely help expose a hack. If you know of one that's in your city, just send us a message to the email that's down below. Send their name, the studio, whatever you got, and we'll gladly put them in the show. But don't worry, all submissions are going to be confidential, so have no fear. We're not going to put you on blast for doing a good deed. That's it. Now let's get back to the artwork. Alright, here we go, you guys. Alex Turner. This is who I'm going to be talking about today because, trust me, for all of you guys living out in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, you're looking for a good tattoo artist, there's a ton of studios out there and in their surrounding area as well, but man, there is a lot of garbage artists there. I'm just being straight up. I spent a lot of time and effort trying to find the perfect artist that I thought I could recommend to anybody looking out there, and believe me, the Hack Hunter crew is going to be visiting Eugene, Oregon again because there's definitely some more artists that need exposing out there. But you can check out the Black Label Tattoo Collective. Alec is the owner out there. blacklabeltattoo.net. I'll put it down below so you guys can check it out on your... Now, definitely check out Alec's Instagram, Alec Turner Tattoos, just some amazing stuff, and he does something that I love it when artists do. He takes a lot of videos. As you can see, most of his stuff is videos, so you get to see that sort of 3D real-life look at what the tattoos are, not just a two-dimensional image that could have been edited or whatever. So let's kick it off with Zeus, because I had a lot of beef with one of Gary's Zeus portraits, okay? And this is a great representation of how Alec does his work. Really clean, high-contrast stuff. He's very good at gradiating his midtones and leaving his light source where it's supposed to be. You can absolutely tell that the light is coming from this direction and shining down on his face, whereas a lot of the other stuff that I saw from Gary, just no light source at all. It was just kind of randomly shaded, and it didn't give you that real sense of depth. And now another amazing thing, bam, he takes a picture of it healed. Now, granted, not every artist, or not every client comes back, so as an artist, we can't always get pictures of our tattoos healed, but, you know, we got those amazing clients that have been coming to us for years. You know they're going to come back, you're going to get this amazing, clean, healed picture, but a lot of artists just don't post healed photos, because the tattoo looks brilliant the day of, right? That's the easy part. It looks great the day of, but you never know. Is the client going to take good care of it? Is their skin going to hold up? Are they healthy? All that matters, but also, a lot of artists just don't want to take the risk because they don't know if they went to the proper depth. They don't know if they overworked the skin or if they did any scarring. And so when you see an artist like this take a photo and proudly rep it online, it shows that he knows that his technique is solid, that it's healing exactly like he wants it to. And you can see all that really high contrast here. It just heals beautifully. Exactly how you want it to look when it's healed. So, let's compare it to Gary's. I know it's not a fair comparison, you guys, but still, just another thing I always want to touch on is the quality of the photo. I mean, this, as an artist, this is our product, okay? Just like if you were looking at products in a catalog or on a website, they always take the best pictures of their products to make them look good, and I think every artist should do that too. This is our product, we're selling it to you, we want to represent it as good as possible. So when I see an artist that just kind of takes a picture with a really old iPhone, and there's glare in it, and the color correction's all off, and you can see the furniture in the background and stuff, like, it's just, to me, shows that they don't care enough about their craft or about their business to take the extra time to learn a few steps and take good photos. But Alec, on the other hand, all of his photos, just brilliant, beautiful work. And here's another great example. Here's a portrait that he did. It looks very, very high contrast at first, but he knows very well, bam, how it's going to heal. He knows how it's going to lighten up, soften up as it heals, and so he's putting that contrast where it needs to be so that 2-3 weeks later after the healing process is done, your darks are still dark where they need to be and your lights are light where they need to be. And a lot of artists have trouble with this. The gray wash really lightens up. It lightens up 1 or 2 tones, and you got to plan for that. And if you don't, you come back with a portrait that's just completely washed out or two-dimensional looking. And I think it's so great that I see these healed photos and you can just see how clean these gradations heal. Look how smooth the gray wash is in there. I love this portrait of a kid too, like just a perfect image of your child. But this hair up here, just mind-blowing. Where the hair bends over his forehead, he did such a great job of transitioning between multiple medium grays to create this nice bend in the hair right in front there. Just very, very impressive to me the way he did that. This piece, again, it's this really high contrast stuff. I love it, absolutely love it. It's more time consuming, but he does it so well. This is his forte, and you'll see it if you go through his Instagram. This particular image is actually one that a few clients have brought me in the past. Not his picture, but this image of a skull, the rose, and the butterfly. I've been asked to do it. I've done a couple myself, but he knocked it out of the park, and that's why I want to show it. His white work, just beautiful. Really high contrasted, great white application. I love the cracks in the forehead here, the little potholes in the bones. Just a little attention to detail like that really elevates a piece. And I gotta show Lion because something I was complaining about again with Gary, those lazy ass whiskers. This is how it's gotta be done to look like an authentic, realistic lion, or any animal for that matter with whiskers. You have to leave this negative area here and then do your white afterwards. The white's not gonna heal that bright if you try to blast it over top of gray wash later. So you have to leave this negative space, get in there with a tight mag or a tight round shader and shade in between each one. It's painstaking, it sucks doing it, I never look forward to doing it, but this is the outcome that you get, and he's definitely nailed it. You can tell that he's got his technique down. He's definitely a dedicated artist, a disciplined artist. It's going to take the time to do that level of detail for you. This one blew my mind. Again, I'm going to compare to Gary's, that just joke lightning that he did in his Zeus. This is how lightning should look. Just the variation on the depth, the weight of the lines, but then it's just real jagged. It's not just these smooth, kind of stringy looking stuff. And again, he had to take the time to shade in between each one of these little white lightning strips. I just love it. And this is just a beautifully artistic piece of work too. I can tell it's a custom piece. Look at the detail there in that light bulb, and I particularly love the threads here on the light bulb. That is not easy to tattoo, you guys, to make that look 3D and round like that. The texture in Abe's hands and his beard, oh my god. This is the kind of artist you want working on you, trust me. Another just beautiful piece. He knocks it out of the park every time with animals, and I personally lean towards this. If you're going to get gray wash, I lean towards this high contrast stuff. It's going to stand the test of time better. It's going to look cleaner from a distance. It just, yeah, especially if you have an artist that knows how to apply their blacks really well. I personally think that's what you want. You don't want something that's going to look like kind of washed out and scratchy in the end. You want something that's going to be real defined and crisp over the long haul. And yeah, again with these whiskers, he takes his time. Just beautiful, beautiful work. I love the blending in the eyes here. That's at least 3, maybe 4 tones just for that one eye alone. Beautiful, beautiful work. His medium tone gradation just continued to blow my mind. Very, very smooth stuff. And sometimes when artists do this high contrast work, they like to blend that black out way too hard, way too sharp, because they're much better at blending the black than they are at blending the light grays. But Alec is just a killer with all shades of gray. And then I had to showcase this. I could tell he was proud of it. I saw a couple of pictures where he was in the process of doing it. He kind of showed you the stages. Definitely, again, check out his Instagram if you want to see how he kind of compiled this thing from start to finish. Very, very impressive work. And then I was so kind of stuck thinking that he just does gray work. That's great. That's his wheelhouse. He sticks with it. But then I came across this beautiful piece in his portfolio, and look how clean this is. Look how smooth, saturated all of this is. The blending on these leaves. Just impeccable, very, very smooth work for a guy that it seems like he leans towards gray wash all the time. He just knocks it out of the park with color as well. So I have no fear in recommending him to anybody in that Eugene, Oregon area. Definitely go check him out, guys. I can't speak for all the people that the guest spots that he hires and the people that kind of come in and do those guest spots, but whenever I got an owner like this that does this level quality of work, I can almost guarantee you he is picking some really high-end hot rods that are just going to keep up this level of quality for his studio. I can tell he cares a lot about not just his artwork, but how he runs his studio as well. He responds to every one of his customers and everything, so anytime there was a complaint in the reviews, you could see how much he cared about his customers by how he responded to them. Alec, I just am blown away by your work, man. I can tell it's just gotten better and better over the years. You've been doing it a long time. You deserve to have your own studio, and you definitely knock it out of the park every time. So anybody down in Eugene, definitely go check out his work. I think you will not be disappointed. Leave me some info in the comments below. Let me know what you think about his artwork, and as always... Alright, you guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified. We put out new episodes every week. We go to different cities every week, and we might be coming to your city soon. So, stick around. We'll be back next week. And in the meantime, if you're hunting for an artist, don't forget to zoom in. Alright, we'll see you next week. Bye.